A huge good morning to Trey, Bo, and Uriah. It is time to get up and get ready for school, little ones. Have a good day.
I want to say a big good morning to Gary Lindblad out at Indian Canyon Golf Course this morning. Been giving me a hard time about the weather. Hopefully yesterday at least made up for a little bit of that and got out and got some holes in on the course. Going to be nice next week also, Gary.
And we couldn't do the morning news for you without our hard-working crew behind the scenes. A good morning to Max, Nicole, Nikki, Matt, Ben back in the booth, the entire crew. They're the best in the business. Let's start the show.
Right now on Q6 and live on your mobile device. This is KHQ Local News Today.
An atom bomb.
Oh, you okay?
A fertilizer plant explodes, sending shockwaves across Texas, even registering as a 2.1 earthquake.
And we continue to learn more about the explosion as investigators are there processing the scene and the evidence. This morning it remains unclear what caused the blast, how it started, but what is clear, the portion of the town of West Texas has been leveled. Good morning, I'm Sean Owsley.
I'm Shelley Monahan. People from all over the region reported feeling that blast, saying that it did feel like an earthquake. Here's what we can tell you so far. It happened at the West Fertilizer Company plant in the town of West Texas, which is located 80 miles south of Dallas. Firefighters were already at the plant battling a major fire when the explosion occurred. Nearly 175 buildings, including a middle school and a nursing home, were damaged by the explosion.
We're going to search for everybody. We're going to make sure everybody's accounted for. That's the most important thing right now.
So many people were injured. Deputies at one point used their squad cars as ambulances to help take injured people to area hospitals. Authorities set up a triage area at a local high school football field to treat the injured. Officials say that they now know between 5 and 15 people are dead. We do know for sure 2 EMS personnel and 3 firefighters were killed. Some firefighters remain unaccounted for at this hour.
More information this morning, taking a moment to explain the safety measures the Department of Homeland Security want you to take in the event of a similar incident where you live. Right now, you're looking at our sky camera pointed toward KHQ local news reporter Katie Steiner. She's standing 3 blocks away from us here at the KHQ studios. That is the same distance as the blast radius in Texas, and where fire officials say if you were standing in that area, you could have been seriously hurt or killed in the explosion. And Katie joins us live this morning to explain the safety measures that authorities want you to take in the event of a catastrophic explosion.
Good morning, Sean. We're at Sprague and Monroe, and just to give you a little bit of perspective, if we would have been here and the blast would have happened at KHQ Studios, you can see the podium there, the post there behind me, if that would have happened, a lot of these buildings around this area would be damaged, and if we would have been standing here, we would have been seriously hurt or even possibly killed. So what happens if you are involved in some sort of an explosion like this? Well, if you're at home or in public, you should leave right away, and at school you should follow the evacuation orders, or at work also follow your evacuation orders, and always listen to police, fire, or other people in charge. And if you are not hurt and you can see other people that are hurt, make sure you help those people. But if they are seriously injured, make sure you find help. Do not do it alone. That's never good. Also, avoid crowds, because those could be targeted for a second attack. And steer clear of damaged buildings, because you don't want to be hit by falling glass or bricks. And of course, like always, we will continue to update you on both of the explosions in Boston and in West Texas on our web channel at KHQ.com, and also on KHQ at 5 and 6 o'clock. Reporting live in Spokane, Katie Steiner, KHQ Local News Today.
Thanks very much, Katie. 6:03. Well, if you'd like to read more about the safety precautions outlined in detail by the Department of Homeland Security, there is a link on their website on KHQ.com under the Find It tab, and there you'll find all the resources available in the event of an emergency similar to the one that we're talking about in West Texas, and how to protect yourself if you find yourself or your family in danger.
This morning, we're still waiting to hear more from federal investigators after reports swirled yesterday about possible arrests in the Boston Marathon bombings. Those reports turned out to be false, but we do know that footage recovered by the FBI is helping in their investigation. This morning, KHQ crime tracker Kalai Chalk has details on just how helpful witness photographs have been during the course of this investigation.
Good morning, Shelley. And investigators are hoping that witnesses will come forward with their photos, with their video, and hopefully this will help lead to an arrest. And in fact, this morning they're relying on some of that footage. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. They're looking at this video. It's from a department store surveillance camera. It shows images of a man leaving a bag or a backpack near the area where that bomb exploded. They're also looking at pictures like this one. It's from NBC, an NBC affiliate, which is helping investigators zero in on a suspect. Now, it's not clear if the garbage bag seen here contained a bomb, but federal officials tell NBC that this is the spot where that second device exploded. These leads go to show the importance of evidence from witnesses and the pictures and video shot in the area right up until this blast. And these leads go to show the importance of how witnesses and people in the area help law enforcement. In fact, law enforcement oftentimes relies on people for tips which lead to an arrest. And in fact, this reminded us of the MLK bomb that happened back in 2011 when FBI investigators released these pictures. This was the backpack that Kevin Harpham left on that bench in downtown Spokane, and these were the 2 t-shirts found inside. Investigators thought that the public could help identify these t-shirts, where they may have come from, and hopefully lead to arrest. This happened in January. The backpack was found in January. 2 months later, FBI was able to make that arrest. So again, Sean and Shelley, just going to show how much law enforcement does rely on the public, whether it's pictures, whether it's video, or whether it's just information that we may have that they don't. With that, let's pass it over to Blake.
Well, Kalai, thank you so much, and a good morning to you at home. Quite a bit warmer this morning than it was at this time yesterday. No, yesterday actually tied a record with our low temperature of 21 degrees. Last time we reached that low temperature on that day yesterday was 1968. Yeah, it's been a while. It was pretty cold. 30 degrees, though, this morning for a low temperature. Partly cloudy skies, and then noticing increasing clouds throughout the rest of the day. 57 degrees. Our high temperature should stay mostly dry today. It's really tonight and tomorrow that this storm we've been highlighting expected to move through. Temperatures right now, 31 degrees in Spokane, 36 in Moses Lake, 34 in Coeur d'Alene, still in the low 20s for Kalispell, mid-20s in Missoula, 37 in Lewiston. Good morning to you. And the wind speed out there, relatively calm, not bad, about 5 miles per hour in Moses Lake, Omak, Sandpoint, and Wenatchee, 7 miles per hour in Spokane, 9 miles per hour in Coeur d'Alene. So those relatively light. Again, partly cloudy skies this morning. We do have some showers already making their way over the Cascades down into the Yakima Valley. Those not expected to affect us today. Again, it's tonight and tomorrow. Going to get pretty blustery out there. I'll highlight that coming up here in a few minutes. Sean? All
right, thanks very much, Blake. As we continue to follow the newest information that is coming to us this morning out of West Texas, we want to go by phone now to a photographer, Thomas Swafford, for KEYE television. That is in Austin. He's in West this morning covering the aftermath of that massive explosion at the fertilizer plant. Thomas, good morning. Tell us what the scene is like there this morning and what you're hearing.
Yeah, good morning, Sean. What we're hearing is that there's about 5 to 15 confirmed fatalities right now. They can't confirm any more than that, and about 160 people transported to hospitals. We talked to a couple of people that were in at the scene that were helping rescue people, and they said that they haven't touched anybody that wasn't covered in blood. And it's just a very, very chaotic scene. They have us pushed back about a mile away. There's no threat of any more fire or explosion. The fire is considered a smoldering fire right now. It's under control somewhat. That's pretty much all we got going on right now.
Thomas, if you can, just kind of describe what people are saying and feeling in that area right now. With that home video, you've probably seen it yourself, that blast reaching just so far, such a distance with such power and force. Talk about what people are, how they're reacting to that this morning.
They're reacting. West is in between Dallas and Austin, exactly about 2 miles south of Dallas, 2 miles north of Austin, and it's a small town that kind of reminds me of Ritzville or Sprague, about 2,500 people, and it's just a real tight-knit community, and everybody that grows up here plays baseball with their cousins and their brothers and sisters all on the same team, and it's just one of those communities. But what's going on is it's just a lot of people helping people. And, I mean, there was so much emergency response and people helping out that they had to turn away and say, we don't need any more. We got this covered. So it's just a real great community effort with everybody helping out.
All right, Thomas, former KHQ employee. Good to talk to you, Thomas, and stay safe there.
Thank you, Sean.
All right, take care.
The Washington State Senate has passed a bill that would ban 2 carcinogenic flame retardants in car seats, strollers, and other products made for young children. Passed on Wednesday, the measure to ban TCEP and chlorinated tris was scaled back from the version advanced by the Democratic-controlled House in March. Now, unlike the House bill, the current Senate version does not include banning the 2 retardants from sofas and other household products. It also removes a provision barring the replacement of banned flame retardants with other likely toxic chemicals. Both versions provisions would make Washington state the first state to ban chlorinated tris from children's products. Well, new this morning, Washington's unemployment rate dropped to 7.3% last month, the lowest rate in more than 4 years. However, numbers released Wednesday show that after strong monthly job gains in recent months, those gains were lost in March with a decrease of more than 5,000 jobs from the prior month. An estimated 254,000 people in Washington state were unemployed and looking for work in March, including more than 100,000 who claimed unemployment benefits.
And we are learning brand new information this morning. A Mississippi man waking up in jail after FBI agents arrested him in connection with those 3 letters that were mailed that tested positive for ricin. One was addressed to the president, another to a U.S. senator, a third intended for a Mississippi justice official. Paul Kevin Curtis arrested at his home for mailing 3 letters that tested positive for the poison. The letters were signed, "I am KC."
This is a very serious situation that goes from not only state but a local level and a federal level.
Little information so far is known about the suspect or his motive. In a statement, Senator Roger Wicker thanked law enforcement for their decisive action investigating the suspicious letters. Letters were detected in part because of security procedures put in place following the anthrax attacks of 2001. Well, now questions remain unanswered after U.S. Senate rejected the Manchin-Toomey bipartisan amendment to expand federal background checks on gun buyers. The vote is considered by some to be a major blow to President Obama's push toward gun control. The president made several gun proposals after the horrific mass shootings in Newtown, Connecticut that killed 20 children and 6 adults. There were 54 votes in favor of the amendment, but the measure required 60 votes overall to advance. Well, you can't blame the New York Mets if they're looking forward to returning home to New York City more than usual.
They spent the week in Minnesota and Colorado, oh gosh, where the snowballs were as frequent as the fly balls. That included Wednesday in Denver, where a couple of players decided to have a catch anyway. Look at these pictures. The MLB Network showing these yesterday afternoon, shortly after the game was called off. And a makeup date, by the way, has not yet been announced. Great form, though, with the pitching.
Yeah, looking good there. That slider is wicked. Well, the Mets lost a doubleheader Tuesday with temperatures in the 30s, snow on the seats. These teams have a day game scheduled for this afternoon.
That's adorable. Yeah. Seriously, that is
just
really
a bit outside.
Something even Harry Carey would love. All right, it is 6:12 and still ahead on KHQ Local News today. We'll explain what Bloomsday officials will be talking about at an 11 o'clock this morning. They'll be holding a news conference. The race is just 2 weeks away, and security, as you can imagine, is on everyone's mind. And coming up next, April is National Autism Awareness Month. Nearly 1 in 80 children has a chance at being born with the disease. We'll be talking to Holly Lytle about your questions this morning.
Shooting star leaping through the sky like a tiger, defying the laws of gravity. I'm a racing car